All right, so let me set the stage here. We're on a rooftop house in Philadelphia. To my north, look at that skyline. OMG, is that like unbelievable? It's the first week in November. The weather is perfect. So we got the skyline to our north, and then to our south, we have the Philadelphia Phillies playing in Game 5 of the World Series. It's an incredible night in the city, but the most important thing is an introduction to the city's very first smoked Philly cheesesteak, gut smokehouse style.
When you do a food video on Philly, you better damn well be sure you put your heart and soul into everything you've done. So the quest here is, how do you take the standard Philly cheesesteak ingredients of beef, cheese, onions, and a roll and make it stand out? So we have to squeeze every ounce of creativity into making this cheesesteak. So here's what we did. First thing we do is take a whole packer brisket. What that means, it is a whole brisket, which includes two main muscles, the point and the flat. We trim as much fat off the top as we can to leave about 1/4 inch of fat on the top, because that fat will get nice and crusty and form a nice bark that'll eventually be mixed into the cheesesteak. The other reason we're taking off this fat is we're actually going to smoke the fat and make beef tallow and beef cap crumbles. We then flip the brisket over, and on this side you get a better picture of what the two muscles are. There is a pocket of fat that runs between the point and the flat, which I'm removing here. This is also known as the decal. We remove that fat to make our beef tallow with. And as you can see here, it is a deep pocket of fat. Now you can leave that in, but it will not render. And you can notice the difference in texture here. This inside fat is much harder than the outside softer fat. This inside hard fat is going to be great for making our beef cap crumbles.
First thing we do is season the brisket with salt and pepper. Then we coat it in our brisket rub. We flip the brisket over and repeat the process on the other side. Again, salt and pepper goes down first, and then our brisket rub goes down after. Not too thick. We don't want it to taste too barbecuey, so we don't go too thick. Then we take the beef fat that we've cut off the cap, and we season that with salt and pepper. And then just a little bit of our barbecue rub. We then work that in well, get it seasoned, light coating of seasoning, just like that. And now we're ready for the rubber to meet the road. We put the whole packer brisket into our smoker, fat side up. And that is followed by the shaved beef fat from the cap. That will create our tallow and our beef cap crumbles. Next, we take some yellow onions, chop them up so they're sliced lengthwise like that. And then we take the onions and we slowly saute them in a pan. Part of the process here is taking some of that rendered beef tallow or beef fat and mixing it in with the onions while we lightly saute them. We We then take our Cheese Whiz as is in the containers, put them right into the coolest part of our smoker, and let it smoke away until it gets smoky and bubbly. And after about an hour in the smoker that's running around 225, this is the result. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that is awesome. It's bubbly, it's smoky, it's thickening up a little bit. Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh man, that's pretty awesome.
And then there's our beef fat crisping up, forming that tallow, as well as the beef cap crumbles. And here it is. It's almost like a beef fat jerky. And there's the liquid gold from the beef fat. Oh, baby. And this is it in its hardened format. There is some prep that goes into making this smoked Philly cheesesteak. And the first part of that is getting our cleavers nice and sharp. We then slice into the brisket, fat side up. And by slicing it halfway through, we're going to get most of the flat, and then right there is a good chunk of the point. And that's what we're going to chop up first, because that is the most flavorful part of the brisket. We then take the chopped brisket and put it back in its au jus that it cooked in the smoker to soak up some of that yummy brisket au jus. Next, we take the beef fat cap and we chop it up into the size that you want. That would be a perfect little surprise when you bite into this smoked Philly cheesesteak. We've got a hungry crowd to feed here, and the natives are getting restless. Back to live action. We're going to make our first official smoked Philly cheesesteak. Fresh rolls from Wawa. Oh yeah, another Philly special. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is take our brisket tallow, brush it on both sides of the bun, our Wawa hoagie bun. All right, next take some smoked Cheese Whiz. Yep, you heard me, smoked Cheese Whiz. Spread that on each side. So we're going to put a little more beef tallow here on the griddle and just heat up some of our smoked beef brisket. Got a lot of hungry folks. We are doing this right direct from Center City, Philadelphia. Just going to warm this up. It's already warm, but we're just going to get a little bit more warm. Is that enough? You think that's enough for filling? That is looking pretty good, isn't it? Next will be the sauteed onions. Now these onions, as you saw earlier in the video, were sauteed as well in brisket tallow. And then we're going to go with some rendered crunchy beef particles. Let me bring this a little bit closer. Just, oh man, that's a lot. All right. Next goes the bun. All right, ready? The magic. Oh, look at that. All right, now that's not it yet, because we're coming with one more layer of our smoked Philly cheese whiz, baby. Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. Oh, look at that. Wow. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, we're gonna have the professional wrapper here. Wrap it tight. And as with any good Philly cheesesteak, we're gonna let that baby steam in there for a little bit. We'll cut it open shortly. Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, the moment of truth. Slicing in. Let's see what it looks like here. Let's see. How's that look?
Amazing. Wow.
Oh, look how it just molded, that bread molded around. That's one of the classic keys to a cheese. Look at that, it looks like a sausage in there.
Okay.
All right, the taste test.
Taste test.
A Philly local taste testing. The smoked Philly cheesesteak.
Wow.
He's eaten hundreds of cheesesteaks. First impression? Worth the effort?
Smoky flavor really comes through. They're super juicy. You get the sweetness of the onions, the saltiness from the cheese, and the bread's not overcooked. It's sogged up, soaking up all the juices. Nice and soft.
That's perfect.
Bread's not chewy, which is super important in a cheesesteak.
See? Told you he was an aficionado. All right.
Wow.
All right, success. Time for the Phils and the Eagles.
10 out of 10.
Here it is. We're going to try it and see if it's good. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's really good. Okay. And this has been sitting for a while. And this is still, oh my gosh, it just, your mouth just gets coated in this velvety brisket au jus. Oh, it's so good. Smoked cheese whiz, smoked brisket, Wawa bun, and I mean, it's just a perfect night. Life is good. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Gut Smokehouse Barbecue. We'll see you soon.